Oli has absolutely flipped the football world upside down. You don't know how? Let me tell you how. Leipzig are going to get a restraining order on that man, because not only has he taken Christopher Nkunku from them, he's also taken their sporting director and he's bringing 2 additional players that all of you are going to love. Let's get into this video today. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and if I seem pumped, it's because I'm glad to be here with all of you, and you know how much I love to do this over here. But more importantly, Chelsea are absolutely messing stuff up in the football world. They are getting Leipzig's new technical director. We're going to break this down for you into minute details and what are the ramifications, what's happened in the last crazy 24 hours, and how Leipzig sacked him basically on the spot. And on top of that, we've got an update on Wesley Fofana and Chelsea versus Wolves, the press conference broken down. I am starting to like Mr. Potter a lot. I've always liked him as the Brighton manager. I love Tuchel, so I was a little bit reserved because I didn't know what was going on. But you know what? This man's coming out with the number 1 with the fresh trim, number 2 with the great suit on Champions League nights. You have to have a wavy suit on a Champions League night. And on top of that, he's coming out with facts in press conference. But it is important that you guys do the administrative tasks. And none of us like administrative tasks, but you just have to help a brother out. I'm your boy and you guys love me and you love to come here and watch this content and get your fix, alright? YouTube dietitian after all. Number 1, we hit the like button and get to 1,000. Number 2, we subscribe to the channel. And number 3 in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram, follow me and send me a DM asking a question. And yeah, we'll get into a nice conversation where I respond via a voice note. Voice note, people, voice note. That's what we Europeans do all the time. Who got time to text? Let's get on with the video. Alright, before I mess up this name, his name is Christophe Vivif. I think that's how you pronounce it. I must have butchered it. Christophe Vivif. We're gonna call him Viv. Viv has been dismissed from his technical director role at RB Leipzig. The reason being, it's come out in German, it was said that they've dismissed him for disagreements and different visions. This is code for big man's being tapped up by Chelsea and he's leaving. After this has happened, Matt Law comes out with an article saying he's set to be appointed as the new Chelsea sporting director. This is massive news. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know what this man is and what this man has done, because I'm a football fan, I'm not a sporting director's fan. You will not catch me going, oh, Maxwell does a better job than Campos because of the dividends and the EBITDA. And nah, that's not me. It's never going to be me. But what are the plans? And this is coming out from Matthew Law. Matt Law is actually saying that number 1, it's going to be not only Christopher Nkunku that's going to be coming across. Apparently it's Gvardiol, if I'm pronouncing that right, the Croatian centre-back, and Lerma, the centre midfielder. So not only have Chelsea taken their sporting director, not only have they taken Christopher Nkunku for, I think it's 45 to 55 million pounds. Now they're going after Gvardiol and they know his release clause and they already have an inbuilt relationship because they've got the geezer that basically brought him to the club, at our club now. We're going after Lerma, who's highly talented. Or Lamar, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He is ridiculously talented too. Guys, by the way, me and names, terrible. My pronunciation is terrible. Until I hear the commentator say it, I won't learn how to say it because it's too hard. I just can't pronounce it. Alright, Thiago Silva. I heard the Brazilian commentator say it. Sounds better than Thiago Silva. Alright, so I'm gonna have to learn. Give me time. This is massive news. This is all we have at this moment in time because I don't know the intricacies of this man. I just know he works within the RB organization. The structure's already there, so he just has to do a job. Whether he can come to Chelsea and build it is another question. It's something I want to see. Graham Potter rocks up in a tracksuit today. Not every day look good and fresh in a suit, but he talks about the team news. Wesley Fofana's gonna be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Matt Law did report though he's going to be potentially back sooner. But Graham Potter basically all but confirmed his World Cup is over. Wesley Fofana will not be going to the World Cup for France. It was already a long shot, and now with this injury, it's highly doubtful that he's going to go because 6 to 4 weeks takes him right to the edge. No football, no chance to demonstrate his skill set to get into this team. Next time, Euro 2026 is the one that he needs to be aiming for, in my opinion now, or wherever it's going to be. Then we start talking about N'Golo Kante. Kante's still not ready. Don't rush him. Do not rush him. Use Ruben, use Jorginho, use Chukwuemeka, use Kovacic. Do not rush Kante, please. We need a fully fit Kante. And if Kante doesn't go to the World Cup, not the end of the world. At least he'll have 3-4 weeks to recover, be fully fit and ready for the back end of this. That's when we'll need him. We need to be respectful and we need to understand what we... I love how quick things change in football. And they asked him, oh, are you in the top 4 battle? And he's answered it very well. He battered that question away. Hey, the next game. And he's spot on here. We just need to focus on the next game. People, we are Chelsea. We should not be aiming for top 4. We should be aiming for the title. As stupid as that sounds, we're not that far away. We are maybe 6 points away, and that is literally put a 5-game win streak together, and all of a sudden you could potentially close that gap, and all of a sudden everyone's talking about titles. So what do we need to do? The next game. We've won two games back to back now, and this is great. We beat Palace, we beat AC Milan, and now we've got Wolves. And we need to go and beat. I genuinely believe if we beat Wolves, we're going to build some momentum and then we go into the next Milan game. And people have to be respectful and understanding of what we're doing here. We're building a team for the long haul, but we should not be aiming for top 4. We should be aiming to be the best. We should be aiming to finish above Arsenal, minimum. On top of that, the interesting thing is they're talking about how, do you believe that this is in the control of the manager and all the tactics? And he was like, look guys, we can't be getting frustrated about the fixture congestion, we can't be getting frustrated about injuries, because I can't control that stuff. That stuff here is predominantly for and I believe that we need to respect it, we need to love it, but at the same time we just have to get on with our jobs. And he's so right in that. Guys, the more time you spend moaning about other stuff that you can't control is just additional stress. Focus on the things you can control. The quality of your work, the instructions you give to your players, winning games. And he's so right on that. And I love that he's coming out with this messages because it breeds a culture of no excuses. It breeds a culture, next man up. It breeds a culture of we need to be better as a collective, a colectivo. Love. They asked him questions about Diego Costa and he said, you know what, we need to respect the player he was, and the fans will give him a great ovation because of what he's done for this club. And you know what, let me speak as a fan that I am from the bottom of my corazón, my heart, my serce. Let me tell you how much I love Diego Costa. Costa was never aesthetically great. He was never technically gifted. But you know what he was? He was a flat track bully. This man was, honestly, he used to walk onto the pitch and I knew 20 games of a season, he'll score 1 goal. He never scored braces, he never scored hat-trick, but he was there consistently enough to give you that 1 goal head start, so if your defense is on point, you win the game. And he was a bully, he was a savage, and Rihanna was saying the stuff about him when she said, didn't I tell you about I was a savage? Fuck your white horse and your carriage. Excuse my language. But she is spot on, because the way Costa played was amazing. He was bullying people and he breeded fear into people, defenders, before the game even started. They were more worried about how they're going to handle him than the defensive aspect. Made space for others and it was amazing. Loved Diego Costa. Can't wait to see him, but I hope he doesn't score again. They also asked him a question. Oh, you played a back 3 against Palace. You played a 2 at the back against AC Milan. What are you doing here? And he said basically horses for courses. And I love this. I love managers that are adjusting. Whilst I do not like changing your back 3 and back 2 all the time, but I love the adjustment of tactics, and sometimes even in games. This shows a highly enthusiastic manager who doesn't only believe that his job is to get the players onto the pitch and then give them responsibility. It's that in-game management is effective, and not only that, it's essential for them to be successful. And this really gives me confidence, and I love it. This shows that he potentially could be the manager for the long term. It shows that he's tactically going to develop the players, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Cucurella is fit, and this is great news for Chelsea because you guys already know the deal. I think Ben Chilwell is a decent player, but no, Marc Cucurella is next level. One of you is going to slide in my DMs and moan. You're like, you don't know ball, what are you talking about? But listen, Marc Cucurella has that pass in him that he can bullet through and he goes straight into the feet of the forwards. He can sizz that ball in. He's very good athlete. He crosses it decently and he's high energy and carries the ball well. How many times does Ben Chilwell get shook and pass back? Get shook and give it to Jorginho. Delegates responsibility. Sometimes you're in space, big man. It's allowed that you turn the ball over if you try something audacious. Come on, try it. It's annoying, but it is what it is. What do I think of the win? I think Chelsea are going to win. I do. I think Chelsea are going to do a very good, comfortable game against Wolves. I think we are not going to cave. Pedro Neto is out. So all of a sudden, it's most probably going to be Adama, Podence, and Costa. But we can deal with that. We really can. So I think we need to be proactive, attack them head on, absolutely bully them and beat them 3-0. I think that is possible. They've got no manager. Those players are going to be playing for vibes and heart. And for me, if we hit them with a knockout punch early, all of a sudden, it flips. The script flips and everything's positive. Recently, we've been getting a lot of draws against them and it's been really frustrating for me personally. But I think this time around, we're going to have a comfortable afternoon. It's my father-in-law's barbecue tomorrow, so there'll be no review straight after the game. I will be watching the game, obviously. Me and him going to be having a beer at his barbecue, but I can't be doing a review there, you know what I mean? Unless he tells me to get the camera out, we do the review together. You let me know in the comments if you don't want to see that. But other than that, most probably an evening review, all right? So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It'll be out around maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. If not, maybe the next morning. Peace out, I'm out. Adios.